just sit there and stare at each other. The recording button hits and no one says a word.
All right.
We're just staring at each other.
We're in.
Here we are. What are your other two wishes?
This is the Five Dirty Bikers podcast, brought to you by Wild Ass Seats, keeping your rear in gear for the long haul. Join the Five Dirty Bikers on YouTube and chat with us on Discord. Visit fivedirtybikers.com to get your apparel and everything else. Now sit back, grab a drink, and let's get dirty as we dive into the world of bikes, keeping it raw and real. Here are the Five Dirty Bikers.
But honestly, I mean, if you got to stare at somebody, I think we got four good faces to stare at.
It's not terrible.
No,
right?
Pretty good looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're definitely.
And he's like, you guys are fucking freaky looking.
Yeah. Your silence is golden.
I won't tell you guys what I was looking at.
She probably has Pornhub on in the background over there.
No.
Nope. Wait, yeah, you can still get it.
Wait a minute.
Maybe. I don't know.
They let Pornhub in South Dakota?
I'm sure. I don't know.
Their
If not, they just
governor
make
quit
their
paying
own.
attention. She's got bigger fish to fry now.
Bigger dogs to kill?
We have a new governor now.
Yeah, the new governor now.
Who's the new governor?
Well, he was our lieutenant governor. Roden, I think is his last name. Yeah. So, and actually Greg just met him or ran into him last week, a couple weeks ago or something. So,
very cool.
Yeah. So,
Can I tell you the story of how I ran into Governor DeSantis?
Sure.
Yes.
I can't believe I haven't brought this up yet. So, get ready for this. This is beer story before the topic tonight. So, we have Buc-ee's. You guys, well, obviously Dave's been to Buc-ee's. We've run into each other at one. So, I'm in the grand opening for the Buc-ee's in Daytona. It's like first day, huge deal. I was going off-roading at the time, so I had my Royal Enfield Himalayan. I was going to go to Tiger Bay and make a day out of it and hit the trails. Had to go to the bathroom, wanted to get a snack, so I stopped in at Buc-ee's. And it's utter madness. Me with the bike, I just kind of pulled up front, went right in. Despite there being so many people that look like Disney World on the inside, the bathrooms were clear. Like, all right, bet. Like, I got to use the bathroom. That's why I'm here. So I walk right into the bathrooms. No one's in there. I'm like, this is weird. So I'm using the urinal. And then all of a sudden I hear voices behind me. And it was like, one guy said, yeah, this is our bathrooms. They're pretty big, huh? Yeah, like they're pretty clean. And the other one was just in agreement. And I turn around and it was the owner of Buc-ee's. Like with the, I can't remember his name. Like with the long hair, the beard. No, it's not Buck. It's something. What is his name? It doesn't matter. So it's the owner of Buc-ee's and Governor Ron DeSantis. I'm at the urinal. It's just me, and I'm still going. I'm still using the bathroom. I turn around, and I see them all there, and we lock eyes, and I literally I couldn't think of anything better to say. So I look Governor DeSantis dead in the eye, and I just go, Governor, and turn back around, and they all started laughing, and like it was this whole thing. And I come back outside, and like that's why somehow I had made it past security to get into the bathrooms right before they got in there. It's because I go back out, and everybody's taking pictures with him and all of this. But that was my story about the one time I met Ron DeSantis. Just I couldn't bust anything else up. I couldn't be like, like I have things in my hand, right? Like I'm using the bathroom. I'm not just going to be like, let's shake hands.
Shake his hand?
Right. Or like, I'm not going to chop it off like mid go, mid flow. So I'm just like, what do I do? I'm not going to have a conversation with the guy. So it's just a head nod and a Governor.
The other thing you could have done too is just made a statement, like the water's cold in here or something like that.
I didn't even think it was just like a honest reaction, and the way that he laughed, he appreciated it, and I'm sure he'll remember that forever.
Well, and it's one of those things too, like, and I tried explaining this I've explained it to my daughters and to my wife numerous times. I said, a quiet, peaceful place is a public male bathroom because we don't go in there and have conversations like you women do.
Yeah.
What you did was the normal male greeting in a bathroom. You nod your head, but you're not having a conversation with the guy next to you. You're not talking about the weather. You're not, asking him if the price of gas is right. Like you go in there, you take a piss, you might nod at somebody, and you wash your hands and you leave.
And you did.
Right?
That's it.
Yeah, it's right. We're not having conversations. We don't go in there with 2 or 3 people at a time. We're not, that's not how it works for guys.
I don't know, man. There are a lot of people that go in there and have like legit deep conversations on their fucking phones while they're
maybe with
doing
other people,
business.
but we're not talking to the strangers that we meet in a bathroom. I think that's a definite separation between the male and female sex, is that we don't do that in public bathrooms. And you women, you'll go in there and you'll be like, all of a sudden, some woman will be like, hey, anybody got a tampon? Or, whatever. Like,
how do you know this, Ryan? Andy, can you confirm that?
I have 3 mothers, I have 2 sisters, I have 2 daughters and a wife. That's how I can confirm it.
And Andy, we're not trying.
Andy's
I don't want to
shaking her head.
mansplain this.
She knows I'm right. She knows I'm right.
I'm sure.
Well, there's always like chit chat. I don't know if I've like ever had, unless I was drunk and in college. I met like some of my best friends in the bathroom in college, because you're crying over a guy or, crying over a spilled drink or something, whatever. Made an ass of yourself on the dance floor. But there's always chit chat a little bit. Yeah. And yeah, you gotta be there for your homie and give him a tampon every now and again. You're right.
Yeah.
I've been asked that. Yeah.
See,
I've never had more. Yeah.
We sit down, so we do have to be cognizant of, toilet paper not being available. So yeah,
Sure.
I would say there's chit chat.
That's so funny.
I'd say that there's probably more than one occasion when a guy's been caught with his pants down and there's no toilet paper, because I don't think that's I don't think that's just a thing. We don't do that. We don't like search out the whole thing. Like, we're in there to do a job, and then you get there and you're like, oh shit, I don't have all the tools I need for this job.
You know what though, Ryan? That's a mistake you make only once.
It is. It's a mistake that you make only once. Yeah.
That's the first. I open the door, straight down to the left or right. We good? We good.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
let's go.
I
I've never
usually-
had more than one conversation.
I look at the toilet first, because that gives me every indication of whether or not I'm actually going to stay in there. Because that's one thing, because guys are disgusting human beings, and some guys, it's like, what did you do when you went in here? Like, there's piss on the wall. It's all over the toilet. Did you just close your eyes?
That's the thing I don't get. And
I don't either.
and the last, I don't know, it was last month or month before last or whatever, and I was going to a stall, and this guy walks out, and I wanted to chase him down. I'm like, what the fuck were you doing in here that there's piss all over the toilet seat?
Right.
I live for the day that I walk out, like see 2 guys walk out of the restroom, another guy runs out and just starts beating the dog shit out of somebody for no apparent reason other than they left piss everywhere.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how we tried to move away from this being our opening conversation, and ironically enough, Prentice's opening conversation happened to lead us directly back into the bathroom.
There we go.
Oh, that's where we spend a lot of our time.
So, Prentice,
Too much nose.
were you looking down on him, or was he wearing his lifts?
Who?
Yeah.
Ronnie boy.
DeSantis.
Dude, I'm 5'7", dude.
Well, I know.
I don't look down at many
was he
people.
wearing his lifts so you were eye to eye, or were you able to look down on him?
He's taller than I am, I think.
With lifts, yeah.
Oh, with lifts, yeah. Maybe I should get some of those. I'm trying to be 5'10". You know what I mean?
Platforms.
They make vans that have lifts in them now.
Do they? Give me a couple
Yeah, there you
inches.
go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You can get them.
Height.
You can get them for
I
sure.
just need a couple inches height.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
good
I'm glad
everywhere
you
else.
clarified.
Yeah,
It's already 9 inches. You can't use a couple more, Andy.
that's right. You can only do so much,
Yeah, I'm worried about that Florida education. Oh, wait, no, that's not where you went to school.
Tennessee, baby.
That
Tennessee.
Tennessee education.
Right.
Shout out. I love my
The education's
Tennesseans.
great. They just don't know how to use a tape measure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we do. We do. You just get more than you bargained for.
You pay for more, you get less.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. That. Yeah, we get shortchanged.
You get shortchanged. Yeah, that's right.
God love
It's
them.
like
We're
the
good
bag
people.
of Lay's potato chips. It's full of
Right.
air, and then you open
Yeah.
it, and it's just a few crumbs at the bottom.
Right. It's a
Yeah.
I
quarter
heard
of
if
what
that thing were full of air. Ugh.
That's me.
I don't even
That's
wanna
the
think
story
about
of my
that.
life.
All right, let's get down to business.
Let's
Yeah,
do
so-
What are we
this.
talking about?
some shit went down last week, and this is the time of the year that we normally go in and discuss this, right? And so Harley had their beginning of the year, I don't know what you'd call it, their annual
Website reveal.
Their annual website reveal where they display the next year's bikes. So the 2026s or what 25s or I don't even know what 25s. Yeah, that's what they're calling the release of these bikes. And Tony would say at this point in time, and Tony's not with us tonight, he would say, all we're going to get is fucking paint. But we didn't just get paint this year.
We got a lot of paint.
We got a lot of paint. We got a lot of paint, right? And I'm not mad at it, though. I'm not mad at the paint this year. They did some things that I was really, really happy that they did. And I have a favorite bike by a long shot. Probably one of my most favorite bikes that they've put out in a long time. But anyway, we can get into that. So we're going to discuss Harley's, I guess, new 2025 bikes.
And before we do, I want to let you know, don't fret, because we have an entire episode dedicated to Indian coming up.
Yeah, listen.
Because I want to talk about them. I definitely don't want to mix them in together. They deserve their own attention. Harley had a good reveal. Harley dropped the ball in a lot of ways, and I think we could all agree. I think there was a lot of balls dropped.
Yeah, I was
with Harley.
Don't say Harley had a good reveal.
Yeah. So there was a lot left on the table with Harley. Indian had a little bit better, but we're not going to talk about Indian tonight. Tonight it's all Harley. Next time it's all Indian. It's coming, so don't worry about it.
Believe it. There was much discussion about whether or not this podcast was going to happen, and we decided it's going to happen.
So let's go round table. Let's say, okay, wins and losses. I want to know everybody's wins and losses from this reveal event. Who wants to go first?
Go ahead, Andy. Kick us off.
Well, what the fuck is a Street Glide Ultra? That's what I want to know. Like, what is the point of it? What the fuck is the point of having a street? Why not just have an Ultra? Like, that was weird. It's uglier than I'll get out. Unless, is that the one you like, Ryan?
No.
It would be hilarious if it was.
No. It would be hilarious if it was, but no. It used to just be called the Ultra, so I'm not really sure why they call it a Street Glide Ultra now. So that was a weird naming.
Yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong, and I always get these mixed up. But didn't the Ultra have the Street Glide fairing on it?
The Ultras always had this. No. They used to have an Ultra, a Road Glide, like an Ultra in the Road Glide and the Street Glide. They used to be. It was like their King Daddy touring pack, right? It had the rowers.
I thought one was the touring Ultra, pack. One was the limited. One had a Road Glide fairing. One had a Street Glide.
Yeah, they had Ultras and limiteds, right? But now they eliminated it and they just have the Ultra now.
Okay. Well, I thought that was weird. And
yeah, it is dumb. I agree.
But as far as probably the paint that I hated the most would be that Barney purple matte color.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Barney in my youth, and that was a huge disappointment because I actually kind of like the color purple, but I didn't like that at all. And if I had to pick a color, I'm going to go basically only off of it because it's on brand for me, but they have that, what is it called? Iron Horse Metallic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which I thought was kind of a cool, different take on like a black grayish. In some of the pictures, that actually looks green. But that's kind of my take on just like the paint colors and stuff. Do you have any specific stuff you want me to talk about?
No. What do you love? What do you hate? Just like, you've gone through it. I want to know what you love and hate about it.
She hates the paint. So she hates that purple paint.
Hates the purple paint. Yeah. Loves the.
And she hates the Street Glide Ultra. Like, what is that, right? So
yep.
She kind of hates that.
So yeah.
What do you like? What was your win?
I've always liked the look of the Lowrider ST. I've always liked the look of that bike just in general, especially I think being a female rider, I think that is one I would always kind of enjoy having if the opportunity arises. So I don't know. I know that some people were disappointed because there's not like anything crazy big out there, but I think that it's kind of like Apple or Samsung. They can't make something big every year. I mean, some years have to just be small incremental changes, and then you have your big year. So I guess I don't really know what people's expectations are because I don't have the same expectations as everybody else going into these things.
Sure.
Right. No, those are all fair points.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go? I can go.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, number one, I guess, fuck the Road King, I guess, right? Like,
Right?
isn't it so they left one bike. They literally did nothing. They left one bike with a 114. If I'm not mistaken, that's the only bike that has the 114 left in it, right?
Yeah, they did nothing with it.
They did
the
absolutely
Road
I think
nothing.
that means that there's going to be a mid-year because this isn't it, right? This is
Right,
their
yeah,
pattern.
yeah,
They
yeah.
just do
Right.
these initial bikes at
Yeah.
the start of the year.
Yeah.
I would love to see them do something with the Road King. Because
I
the
do
Road
too.
King is the last one left, right?
Right.
So to Prentice's point, it has the 114 in it left still. It's the only bike that has only 3 colorways. It's remained unchanged since 2017. Changed.
Yeah.
So
And if anything deserves an ST version, it's that.
I shouldn't say unchanged. It started as a 107. It moved to a 114. The 114 became a standard issue. They got rid of the Road King Classic last year, right? So the Road King Special is something that changed. And they update the wheels every year when they do a new wheel design. The wheels get updated. But the actual...
But it still has the Prodigy wheels even, right?
This one does. This
Yeah.
one has the Prodigy wheels from last year, so it remained unchanged. So I would love to see the Road King be a mid-release body change, everything, change the bags, the whole thing, like they did with the Street Glide and Road Glide, and put the new motor in it. I think that'd be fucking great. But yeah, they screwed the pooch.
Yeah, dude. So that's
Okay.
one.
Yep.
Let's talk about the colors that I hate that they took away Alpine Green. They did Alpine Green for 1 year in 2024.
I
It was a good thing because that color sucked.
I love
really-
that color. I loved it with the chrome. I've seen some Alpine Green builds, and they're fucking sick.
The only one that I liked the Alpine Green on was the Pan Am. I thought the Alpine Green looked dope on the Pan Am, but
That's
the
true
rest
because
of
it
them,
didn't have much painted space.
yeah,
The
Yeah.
more coverage it had, the worse it looked.
I
Dude.
agree. I agreed with that.
I'm a fan of the Alpine Green 2024 Road Glides with the chrome. Like I've seen, I'll send you guys some builds that I've seen. I'll share them on the Discord too. Great time for you to go to check out our Discord and talk with us over there. So
Yeah, it's fucking free.
I'll share some photos
We've
on
had
that.
quite a few people that have joined the Discord in the last
We have.
couple
Hell
of
yeah.
weeks, so that's been good. Discord's
keep it
been
up.
growing.
I'll show
Yeah.
you cool shit. What else do I got? Let's see. Favorite color? I fucking love that. Not the Barney purple.
You mean the matte purple
Not the matte purple. Yeah, but I like
or the Mystic?
Yeah, the Mystic one is so sick. I can't remember
I'm
what it's
trying
called.
to pull it. I can't remember the name. Trying to pull it up, and the fucking website's not
I know.
working.
I'm doing the same thing. So
What
I
a
do love
joke
I
Harley
still
is,
do
man.
love the Whiskey Fire of the Road King. That's such a beautiful, like, red orange color. I'll find it in a second. Yeah, I'm with you, Dave.
You're
I'm trying
talking
to pull
about
it
the
up right now.
Mystic Shift?
Yes.
Yeah, Mystic Shift.
Mystic Shift. That's really cool. I enjoy that. And then I really enjoy that CVO
The panel
paint
paint
theme they did.
CVO,
Yeah, the hot lap paint or whatever they're calling
Yeah.
it. But they want fucking $5,000 for that paint.
they sure do.
Yeah,
Speaking of $5,000, let's talk about another bad thing for me. Yes, the lowrider ST upgrade are cool and all, but a $25,000 lowrider, dude.
Yeah.
but that's the ST, right? That's with all the stuff
Yeah.
on it.
ST.
If I'm doing anything in that whole line, just for the motor, I would build. No, I would say I would build a Street Bob, but it's single disc and shit. But the Street Bob got the 117 now. That's cool.
Yeah. Yep.
And then the big model reveal, the Pan America ST. What do you guys think about it?
I think that. So I mixed on it, right? Because it already burns through tires really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And they made it as, they never released the Bronx, right? So I think this is their Bronx because
Here's your Bronx,
it's a-
dickheads.
Yeah, here's your Bronx, right? Because it's a little bit sportier, right? Then they stripped it down. They took a bunch of shit off of it. I like the idea of it. The bike is fast,
Mhm.
and I know that bike is going to gain some people, but to make a straight version of the bike that you can already use on the street that they had before, I don't know if I'm sold on that. I mean, I like the idea because that motor's fast and it's a good bike, but you can take the other one on the street.
Yeah, and then I'm looking at them too because I mean we've all known, like I've been talking about it for a couple episodes now. Like I've at least considered riding and looking at getting a Pan America, right? So I see this, and at first my first reaction was like stoked. That's great. The second reaction is like, But between the two, I think I'm still going for the special over the ST because I still want to do off-road shit.
Right.
You know, I want to do the 80/20, right? Also, did you guys notice anything about the wheels of the Pan America ST?
They're round.
The wheels and tires? Go pull them. Wait, I can screen share.
Well, the ST is mags, and the Pan America Special and ST have spoked rims because that's really what's better for off-roading shit.
Right. Hold on. Let's see. So I don't know. Of course, I don't know.
I don't know.
exactly.
The ST doesn't have spokes.
No, it
I
has
don't think-
mags.
does
It
it?
has mag wheels. The ST does. The Pan America ST has mag wheels.
Hold on. Let me close out every tab. I've got like so many
God.
tabs open. Let me close out every tab.
It
but this
doesn't
one, I'm gonna show
matter.
you
It's not
something.
your tabs. It's the fucking Harley website.
True. Hold on. Let me pull something else up. This was actually, so we're talking about, let's see. Okay, there's that. Boom, boom, boom. Let's pull up the pictures. I'm pulling up nice photos here. Okay, so we're going to open image in new tab. I'm about to screen share for the first time. Andy, how proud of you? How proud of me are
Love
you?
it.
Thinking that may not work because I just got a thing
Did
that
you-
said your browser needs screen sharing permission.
Oh, no, hold on, wait. I'm going to try
Open
to
your
try it anyway.
computer system settings and click privacy and security. There you
I'm
go.
doing it.
We got it.
There we
Okay.
go.
Yeah, so look, these are, we can't zoom in, but these are the wheels on the ST,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to then take a good look at those. All right. Now take a good look at these.
What's that?
It has the Bronx wheels on it.
It
wheels
has the
and tires
Bronx
on it.
wheels. Sure it does.
It has the Bronx wheels and tires. So literally, here is your.
Here's
Bronx,
your Bronx.
assholes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
there you
brought
go.
to my attention by somebody who we'll just say is in the know. They said it to me. They sent me a text and said, "Did you notice anything about the ST?" I'm like, "Yeah, this, and this." And they're like, "Look at the wheels." I'm like, "Okay." They're like, "Look again." I'm like, "What?" And then they did the same thing to me. I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
Those were the Bronx wheels that were just laying around that they
Right.
needed to do something with. So here's your Bronx.
So what's your win and what's your loss?
The big win, man. The big win, I think, is giving more motorcycles the 117. I think that's a win. I think that's a good motor. It makes stupid power with just a cam. It's a fun motor. So I think that's the win. I think the big loss is just by the time it was all said and done, like who gave a shit, right? Like the your Harley faithful gave a shit, but like there was no presentation. It looked very much like it was set up to do something, and then someone said, "Oh wait, shit! Like we hold on, we gotta wait on this. Hold on." And like there was no.
Right.
There was just, we were all waiting on something and no one knew. One thing that I noticed among Reddit, among forums that I'm on, among Facebook groups, is everybody was asking the same question. A, like, is there a reveal? What's the link? And then B, no one fucking knew time, place, anything.
Right.
No one knew nothing, anything.
Well,
It's
and
like, oh, here's
nothing that
bikes.
they did, they didn't follow through. Like, right, they were pushing that teaser out. And Ryan, you and I were talking about this like 2 weeks ago. They're
Mhm.
pushing that teaser out in the app on the sport bikes,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So it's like, cool. What are we going to see? They're bringing out, maybe they're actually bringing out something to replace the Sportster, really,
Mhm.
Yep.
right? Nothing, absolutely nothing. None of the stuff they trickled out, there wasn't any follow through whatsoever.
No.
I think they've been doing this for a couple of years, though. I think what they're doing is they throw these teasers out there, hoping that the influencer community will pick up on it and run with it, so that Harley's not. They don't have to do any advertising for themselves anymore. That all these influencers are out there advertising for them.
That's a losing
Right.
proposition if that's
It
what they're thinking. I think
backfired.
they just, they're putting out call to actions and are not following through themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know who the hell's running marketing, but
So-
the whole website thing was a debacle. I mean, the website was crashing
Yeah.
constantly.
And then more available tonight. Like, what the fuck?
I know,
when?
right? With no timing,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
wait another hour or whatever. And one of the things I really don't like that they did, and I'm not talking about the bikes, I'm talking about the marketing, because I'm like you, Prentice. I saw that Pan Am ST and was like, wow, that actually looks like a good deal, I think. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to see a comparison, right? I wanted to see the special, and I wanted to see the ST, and I wanted to see the features of both the bikes, right? Without having to drill down into each bike and going, oh, wait a minute, does that have adaptive? Yeah, that's got adaptive. Does that one have adaptive? Go back. it's just, I don't know. To me, the marketing is just shit.
Yeah, it fell
It's
apart.
just shit.
And this must be a mistake that I'm looking at right here on the website. I'm looking at it live, and somehow the breakout is still available for sale.
I thought
Breakout. The
I thought they
breakout.
were.
The
I thought they
breakout
had
shows
the
up-
breakout.
I hate
breakout
that
shows up
fucking
in the
bike.
app. No, I do too.
I hate the
totally
breakout as
understand.
much as Tony hates Indian.
So, okay, so that's your win and your loss for
I
that.
think so. Yeah, I think so.
Dave, how about you?
Well, I mean, like I said, I don't know. I've been good the last 3 days. So I haven't done a lot of research. The research I did try to do, I couldn't access. But, I do, from a color perspective, I do like that Mystic Shift. I thought that's a really nice color. And like Andy said, that one color, the Iron Horse, what is it?
Iron Horse. Shit.
I'm
What is
trying
it
to
called?
find
I'll
it.
find it. You keep talking.
But I like
So
that
it's
color.
available on the Street
do-
Glide.
Okay.
I do like I kind of like what they did with the lowrider. From my understanding is they incorporated more tech, right? At least in the ST.
Mm-hmm.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I saw where they have, you got rider modes and everything. You've got
Yep.
the new
Yep.
Mhm.
console or Speedo or whatever the hell that thing is.
Throwback Speedo. Yep.
Yeah. Well, no, it's
It's a Fat Bob Speedo.
it's electronic.
or not Fat Bob. No, it's
Isn't it?
It's
It's
Analog
analog again.
and electronic.
Yeah.
So they went back to the round Speedo rather than the Speedo that was integrated into the bars.
Right.
Yep.
But I thought that was, oh yeah, nope, I see it now.
Nope. It's they.
And it, you can clearly see that they're going to the modern control housings across all the bikes now. They've all look like they're getting that new styling. So, that, I don't know. The Lowrider ST, I think, is a baby bagger. I'm really happy that they fixed at least one aspect of those fucked up bags.
Mm-hmm.
I still think the bags suck, the clamshell, but at least they are both the same size as they suck now instead of the one little mini bag.
They're classic. Yeah.
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 What's insane though is it's a baby bagger, but it's literally $2,000 less than a Street Glide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought, and I don't know, did anybody confirm this is not the VVT on the Lowrider ST?
You can't really find anything on the website, but
Yeah.
when you do a close up of the motor, it looks like the VVT motor because the cam, the cam chest cover looks like the same one that you see on the VVT, but they're not claiming it to be the VVT motor. So I'm really not sure, to be honest with you, and I couldn't find anything on it. So
I mean, I'd like to take a look at that. I mean, because it to me, if that's a 117 VVT,
Yeah.
that's a lot of fucking power
yeah, for
They're
that
calling
small
it the
bike.
high output. I don't know what
on that
that
bike.
means, but
You
Well,
know, I mean,
then
I've
maybe-
seen that one that Quantico, those two that Quantico did that I think were like 121s or something. The custom bills they did had massive amounts of power, but yeah, the Lowrider ST looks intriguing. And I did see our good buddy Mike over at Riding in the Ozarks had a good video about that Ultra, which apparently has a ton of new stuff built into it
Mhm.
that didn't exist before.
Sure.
I guess that's why we're taking their time with those big ass touring couches.
Yep.
They didn't upgrade them last year.
So I would say Dave's his win and loss. His loss would be the marketing. Harley fucked up on the marketing.
Yeah, they just totally screwed
And
that
then
up.
his win would be the ST.
I think they had, the Pan Am. The Pan Am and then the Lowrider, the ST versions of the Lowrider and the Pan Am.
Okay. So I'm on board with you, Dave, a little bit. I really didn't pay. I honestly didn't have as much time to figure out the launch situation other than just you guys exchanging text messages. So I was kind of out of the loop on that. So I was not, I guess I wasn't, I have no thoughts about that either way, other than it doesn't surprise me that they fucked that up. That's not the first time they've done that. This is what happened to me. I just scanned through it, almost like I was scrolling. I hit the Lowrider ST, and that's kind of where I stopped. That became almost like a sick obsession where I went back and looked at old pictures of the old one and the new one. And I really feel like that they listened to the customer. I feel like they listened to everything that we said was fucked up on that bike, and they fixed all of it. I mean, if it is the VVT, which I think it might actually be, it's a 117. They did the redesign on the hand controls. They did the throwback to the FXR gauges with putting a round gauge on the top of the bars, which I think is a great design feature. And it's still a digital gauge, so it has all the information. So it's digital and analog. It has a 2-into-1 exhaust now instead of the stacked 2 exhausts, right? They have a blacked out version and a chrome version of the motor. They fixed the size of the bags. It comes stock with LEDs. It has a charger on it now, which I don't know if it did before, but it has the charger integrated into the frame.
What do you mean charger?
Like it has a
The USB plug?
Yeah, it has a USB because not all of them do that. Road King still doesn't have a USB. So they did everything that we wanted them to do with that bike. And to me, they fixed them all. And then they did what I thought they should have done 2 years ago is they expanded the paint line. And if you go through and look at all the different colors, each paint scheme comes with a little bit different badge, some little bit different accents. One of them has the red Harley accents. One of the gray models has a red logo on the tank and the red accents on the bags, which I think is a really hot look. The blue one, I stopped at the blue one. That blue bike
Is that it?
Absolutely. That's the gray one. That's not the blue one. See if you can pull up the blue one, Prentice. They do have a blue.
Yeah, here.
No,
I'll show
they're
you.
doing
Yep.
the do they? Oh yeah, and it's in the chrome
Right
version.
there. It's in the chrome version.
Chrome version. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people are stoked about the chrome version on the STs also.
This thing right here, I mean, I'm in love with this bike. This is like a perfect amalgamation of throwback because it has the right amount of chrome on it. That tank badge, that tank badge is an old throwback tank sticker badge. I mean, everything they did to this bike, they did it right. I love this bike, and if I were to trade my bike right now, it would be for this model right here, this exact color match, everything. I love this bike. To me, this was the solid win. I fell in love with this one when I saw what they did with it. I've been saying this for a while that I thought they needed to expand their color line and their trim packages of that motorcycle, and bringing some chrome back in I think is a really great idea because there's a lot of people they're just tired of the blacked out bikes and they want to see some chrome brought back into it. I like the idea of the 2-into-1 exhaust. I think they did everything right with that. With the little changes that they made to that bike, I think they did everything right. So that was a huge win for me. I'm not as sold on the street version of the Pan America because I think I'm with Prentice. If I was to do the Pan America, I'd go straight to the Pan America ST because I want something that I can ride off road. That would be the whole point of that bike. Yeah, the special. I'm sorry, not the ST, the special. That'd be the whole point of that bike to me, would be to do something to be able to go moto camping and not have to worry about
Wait a minute.
the roads.
Why would you? Which one are you saying you pick over the other?
If I was going to move into that realm, it would be the Pan America Special.
Why? What's the difference? And this again, I'm still trying to figure out because you don't have a fucking list that shows.
Yeah.
What's the difference between the special and the ST on the Pan Am?
The special is the one that has all the like hard cases and everything. The ST is the stripped down version of that bike, which is more of a road bike.
Yeah, it's got a 17-inch wheel and street
more of a
tire.
Sport bike. Yeah.
Are you saying you can't put the cases on the ST? Because the special,
You could.
I mean,
The whole subframe underneath the seat of that ST is different than the special. If you look real closely, the subframe is different. But that is my, kind of the thing for me that became the, I guess it's, I don't know if it's the special or the CVO Pan Am. I guess it's the CVO Pan Am, right? That has all the stuff on it. That's the one that that I really like in that version of bike. But I feel differently than Andy. I'm not a purple fan, but I do like that purple color that they dropped this year. I like it better than some of the older ones because it's a darker hue. But the real winner for me in all of the paint is the CVO Road Glide with that whatever rally racing or whatever they're calling it. I would call it a panel paint job is what I would call it, but I think that's a really hot looking paint job.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think if we go back to what Harley's done the last few years, I think you're going to see a mid-season release that's going to have their heritage or what was that called, Dave? that they started doing a few years ago, where they did the
The
throwback.
icon.
The icon. I think you're going to see an icon mid-season, and whatever they're planning on releasing, if they're going to redo the Road King or whatever they're doing, whatever their mid-season release is where the new bike is going to come in my opinion. And I hope it's the Road King. I think the Road King Special deserves the dress-up treatment that the baggers got the last couple of years, because I still think that is a popular motorcycle for them.
Yeah, I agree.
I just went into the ST to custom build, and you can add all the off-road shit on it.
Can you do that? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
They have the protected frame shit in the bags and all that other stuff.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, the ST was the winner for me, because of all the little nuance things I felt like they fixed, and kind of listened to what people were saying that they didn't like with the initial release of that bike. I think they did it all right with it this time around.
I'm still disappointed, I mean, even looking at all the bikes, there's not a bike. I saw a bike the other day when I was surfing the net, and I can't remember the model number. It was a Royal Enfield 650. Don't remember the model number, but I saw this bike and I was like, fuck, man, I'd love to ride that bike.
Was it like a Super Meteor? So they have the Super Meteor, they have the Continental, which is like the cafe racer, and then they have the Interceptor.
And it was a street bike. It wasn't like an off-road or anything.
Yeah.
I just looked at it and it's like, damn, that's a sexy bike.
Dude, they make good-looking bikes.
If I was to go back in time, I wouldn't buy a Harley as a starter bike right now. I'd get an Enfield. They're like $5,000, $6,000, brand new, right?
Yeah.
Or I'd get a Kawasaki 900W, that cafe style. I mean, that bike is fucking hot.
But I don't, regardless of whether it's a first bike or not, there's nothing in the Harley lineup right now that just grabs me. I mean, the Fat Bob did. That was kind of like, oh my God, that's my soul sister. I love that bike. There's nothing in the Harley lineup right now that really does that for me.
Ironically,
when they said that they were when they were teasing the new sport bikes, I thought, man, maybe they're going to correct that mistake they did last year, year before last, or whatever.
Yeah. The last bike that Harley made that I felt like I got to have it, and I did. I was like one of the first ones in the country to have it, was when they came out with their Roadster for their Sportster platform.
Okay.
I saw that bike and I was like, yep, that's the one. Inverted front end. Like, I want that bike. And I went and bought it like as soon as I could. I think I bought the first one at the dealership in Nashville.
I want to go buy a Ridley. That's what I want to go do.
If I could go back and get any Sportster, I'd get a fully chromed out speckled paint job and everything. The 72, the Sportster 72.
Yeah, those were sweet. I love those too. Those are great bikes.
That bike was right off the line. That you didn't need to do anything. Maybe a set of pipes, but everything else was perfect on that bike.
And remember the hard candy paint that they did?
Yeah,
on those?
that's what I'm talking about. Like the fucking gold and red and green, and that hard candy paint was hot. No,
that Street Bob was hard candy.
Did Greg mention anything to you? Did he see the reveal, or has he said anything about what he thinks about the new bikes?
Oh yeah, we sat at the brewery the other day and we chatted about it. He's not overly impressed with anything either, but I think that he doesn't look because he knows he's not allowed to have anything.
That's good. That's good. They really leaned hard into gray in this paint scheme too. Like their colors are all all their neutral colors are a hue of gray, right? They have 2 or 3 gray colors now in the bagger lineups that are all a little bit different.
Yeah, I do like that CVO Street Glide paint, that the black and gray.
That faded one?
Mm-hmm. Raven fade.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, that looks really nice, especially that's on, what are they calling it? They're calling it scorched chrome.
Yep.
On the trim.
Yep.
Yeah, that looks pretty nice.
Yep.
I did notice, it seems to me that they took this year to kind of upgrade and re-baseline the tech across the bikes. So I know they've done some stuff with the infotainment systems. It looks like, at least on some of the models, if not all, you can do over-the-air updates now instead of having to take them into the dealer to get the bike flashed. That's welcome
That's
to
huge.
the 2000s Harley.
Mm.
And so I don't know, maybe this is kind of a year they're just trying to re-baseline a bunch of that stuff before going out and doing some amazing things next year or at mid-year.
So was anyone seeing any sales or any like incentives at the local dealers yet? Are you guys seeing anything in your area?
Not around here.
No.
They were running the Road Glide ST, CVO ST, over at one of my dealers 2 months ago. They had two of those on the floor, and they were both thousands of dollars off on the floor. I mean, they were really marking down the 24 CVOs to the point where I even told them, if it weren't for the paint that I had, I'd probably trade my bike in.
Nice.
That's how cheap they were. I mean, they were less, probably less than definitely less than what I paid for my bike.
Wow.
Wow,
Was
I
that
would not
your-
have
your
expected to
local
hear
dealer?
that.
What's that?
Was that at your local dealer?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, two sitting on the floor. Black.
Oh, wow.
Two of the black ones that look black and red.
Holy shit. Yeah, it's an
So,
interesting.
speaking of new
it's
bikes,
an interesting situation.
Are we allowed to talk about somebody's new bike yet? Officially?
Yeah,
He
For
told
sure.
me.
for sure. You can talk. He posted on
Oh, yeah.
Discord. You can talk about it all you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Greg and I got to have breakfast with Bob and his son Henrik Saturday morning before he went and picked up his bike. So that was exciting. I had butterflies in my stomach for him. It's so exciting.
Yeah, he was really really excited about it, and we talked on his way down and talked on his way back a little bit. And, it was kind of funny because I asked him if he had, if he'd done his once over and checked it out and whatever, and he's like honestly, I brought it in the garage, I put it on my lift, and then I got to work on our closet remodel in our house. So he was, I don't want to say in trouble because he wasn't in trouble, but he needed to get to work on his honeydew list. But he's excited. He said he is, well, because he skipped like 2 generations or 3 generations of motorcycles, right? Because he went from a 80-inch Evo pre-Rushmore to all the way up to a Milwaukee 8107 from a Street Glide. Well, his would have been an Ultra to a Road Glide. He skipped like four motor sizes, right? And he had a 5-speed. So this is a 6-speed and 4 or 5 motor sizes and 2 generations of motors. Like, he didn't go to a twin cam. He went all the way to the M8. So he's gonna feel it for sure when he starts to ride this spring. He said already, just sitting on the bike, he said it feels so much heavier than his other bike. And I said, Bob, it's a bigger frame. I said, you're 2 generations different. You went from an 80 cubic inch motor to a 107 cubic inch motor. I said, your transmission's bigger because you have a 6-speed instead of a 5-speed. I'm like, there's all of these things. And he's like, I guess I didn't consider that. I go, you have a much more robust suspension, dual disc. I mean, we went down the list of all the things that are different. And so, and just his bike that he traded in had a 2-into-1 exhaust. And I said, now you have a 2-into-2 exhaust. I said, that's 15 pounds right there of additional exhaust system. Literally 15 pounds of additional exhaust system with the extra muffler and piping. So, but yeah, he's really excited. I think the biggest difference is for us, it's going to change. He's going to be less worried about breakdowns, right? Because we did experience that on most of our trips, and not in a way that I'm not criticizing Bob. He always got back on the road, and we always made our trip, and we always made time. So that's not a criticism at all, right? But I think what's happening is that it was entertaining for a while, and then last year it became a roadblock for him to have fun. And he ended his season last year leaving Sturgis, or leaving FDBM. I should say Sturgis because the FDBM was over, and he was going to stay a couple days, and he ended up leaving early. And he didn't want that to happen. And so he ended his trip differently than he thought. And I think it got to the point where it was frustrating him more than it was a running joke. And so for him to kind of get a bike that shouldn't be an issue for him, that he can ride and not repair, that he can do things with, and he can feel confident and comfortable riding at the speeds that we typically ride to make time when we're trying to, and that's the biggest thing. Like, people think that we ride fast for the sake of riding fast, and that's really not true. We ride for the sake of making time, because you can ask Andy what it's like to ride through North Dakota and South Dakota. A big portion of our states are or ride across states, right? You're just
Yeah.
trying to get to the area you want to be. And so when we go on a road trip, we have 400 miles of riding before we get to someplace that we haven't ridden 1,000 times. And so we want to get there, get through that portion of the ride. That's part of the reason why we get up and leave at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning, because by the time the sun rises, we want to be out of our state and into a state or into some place that's at least not nearly as familiar. So that's kind of the point of that. And so this puts us in a situation where it's going to be more just better riding, and what FDBM is going to look like for all of us this year. That's going to be a necessity, because it's going to be, we're going to do some miles this year for FDBM, especially at the adding on the extra miles that we're going to do at the end of it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Very
I think
good.
that's the biggest thing. So yeah, it was exciting. He was sending pictures to all of us about eating dinner or eating breakfast with Greg and Andy, and he put, I don't know, do you guys didn't go to the dealership with him, did you?
No, we had to get out of town. We were headed to Hill City.
Oh, okay. He brought Henrik in with him, and he was, they had a couple of sidecar mods that they had on a Road Glide and on a Heritage, and he was throwing Henrik in the sidecar.
Yep.
So that was a pretty cool situation for him. That's going to be his little motorcyclist, is probably going to be Henrik's.
For sure. Well, any last thoughts?
Man,
Looking forward to talking about India next week, because they did a pretty good job on their reveal, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah. They're making good power, and we have a lot to say, good and bad, right?
Yeah, I'm going to have
Just
to.
Tony will be here for that, I'm sure.
To do a little bit of research. I saw a couple pictures, and there's a couple pictures I think I threw up in my mouth a little bit on one of them. But,
nice. This will be good for sure.
But there's definitely some, different things to talk about for sure with that one. But
yeah, absolutely. I think they're competitive for sure.
We departed a little bit from our normal podcast. There wasn't a lot of fucks in this one. Certainly not a lot of dicks. Right? We had a little bit more serious conversation about what we thought about the Harley reveal. All in all, if you're going to rate it 1 to 10, Prentice, what would you rate this year's reveal so far for Harley?
Man, I mean, in comparison or just
this year? Just rate this year 1 to 10.
I mean, 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dave, what would you rate this year?
4.
Andy, how about you?
I'm not overly emotional about it, so I'll give it a 6.
I'm going to give it at least a 6, 6.5, maybe for me, maybe even a 7, because and not only because I
I'm
think.
sorry, did I do that out loud?
You did. You made that disgusting farting sound into the microphone out loud. No, it's because and everybody knows I love my Harley Davidsons, but they did the ST right. They did what they should have done on the very first release with that motorcycle, and I think now it's as close to the best bike in their lineup that they're going to get, depending on, I guess, what you like and what you don't like. But for me, I have this realization for me is that I know there's all likelihood as I get older, my bike is probably going to have to get smaller, because I'm probably just going to get older and more feeble and weak. And I feel like that bike is probably going to be the good midway point for exchanging weight for the ability to still be able to tour. Hopefully I'm a ways away from that, but I had a come to Jesus meeting this last week, and I have to say this, and I'll end with this story, because Prentice started us. So we got the statement in the mail, and it was a statement on our retirement, and I had thought that we were planning accordingly. I thought that I had planned accordingly, and this statement was less than a third of what I thought my retirement should be. I thought truthfully I had lost 2/3 of my retirement. And there was a 2-day period of time when I thought, I don't have enough time to make this up. It was that significant of a hit that I thought we had taken. Well, it turns out that I had also diversified my retirement, and this was only a third of what I had done. So it was like a tax sheltered annuity. And the 401k or the 403b that I had was the remaining of that, and so because I had changed jobs a couple times, and so I had this money sitting in an account and I hadn't moved it around yet, and so I had to call the company. Then I got logged in on the app and I found the rest of the money. So needless to say, there was a 2-day period of time where I was quite truthfully thinking I might have to quit the podcast and get a second job, because I was panicking about how I was going to make up this amount of money. But that was my come to Jesus meeting, because it listed on there a I think it said 2040, right? I counted the years, and in 2040 I'll be 65. And so I was like, oh shit, like that's like 15 years away. So that was my come to Jesus meeting. So that, Dave, that's why I was pushing so hard for the ST, because I'm thinking, you know, by then I'm probably going to have to ride a smaller motorcycle because I'm
No doubt.
old and feeble.
No
yeah.
doubt.
Yeah. So there you go.
I'm 63 I'm 63. I haven't moved down to a smaller bike yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping, like, I look at you as my like shining example, Dave, because I feel like we both probably abused our bodies in our 20s,
A little bit.
and so I'm feeling like, you know, I know what I feel like right now. I feel like when I'm 65, it might be a whole lot worse than what I feel like right now. So, you know,
In your pussy.
well, I'm just
That's true. You got that additional thing going for you.
yeah, I'm gonna let that stand in. Because you know as well as I do, I can't be one of those to live up in this area of the country.
Shoot.
Hey, we don't need to talk about who got older this week, do we, Andy?
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Happy
belated birthday. Somebody got a lot older this
A lot.
somebody turned 29.
uh-huh.
Oh God, I'd never want to be 29 again. That's the worst. Nope. I'm happily 42. I'm okay with it. Bring it
Nice.
Are
on.
you really?
Oh, yeah. I struggled turning 30. 30 was a bitch.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite year was 36. I feel like that's kind of when I came into my own, kind of got...
Came into my what?
Yeah, her internet got old real quick, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I came into my own. Like, I just stopped questioning myself and I stopped caring about what other people thought. Nope, now I'm good with 42. It doesn't bother me. Now 50, I have a feeling 50 is going to be hard.
You said
She's not bad.
You said 30. You said 30 was your hard. 35 was my hard age. It was the fives for me. 25
30 was
hard. 25 was hard. 35 was hard. After 35, I really didn't give a fuck. 40 did not matter to me at all, but for some reason 50 feels a whole lot different. I mean, I'm a few months away, but it feels a whole lot different.
Yeah.
50 is when you're starting to hit your prime.
Is that what happens?
That's what most people don't understand, right? You hit your 50s, that's when you're really starting to hit your prime.
Is
you got things figured out. You're at your peak earning potential for probably the next 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, I mean, I get that.
You know.
Like, I get that. The march towards that definitely happened, right? So, I mean, that makes sense to me. You know, and I would have to say, too, for guys, Andy, I think that, you know, some people think that guys don't think about it, but we probably do. But I think that I became very comfortable and self-aware, probably a lot more comfortable and self-aware, like, after 35, right? And so by the time I hit 45, I had a really strong sense of self. And so for me, I guess the rest of it has been okay, like the gray beard and the gray hair and all of that kind of stuff. Just those things never, now I look at them as probably like defining features more than I'm old, right? Because I think if I shaved my beard off and cut all my hair off, then people would be like, who the fuck's this guy? So
hold that thought,
right?
Because I think I'm about 2.5 weeks away.
You
I
think
was
so,
wondering
Dave?
about
We'll have
that.
to do a big reveal. Yeah. Well, the initial treatment plan, those meds was like hair thinning.
Okay.
Probably not loss, but yeah, but the oncologist, no, he said this new, more aggressive plan. He said about 2.5 weeks in, it's going to start going. So we'll have to do a big reveal.
Dave,
Yeah.
Dave, I'm going to ask you a serious question now, because I told my girls I would do this. Do you want me to shave my head in solidarity? Because I will absolutely do it for you.
No, oh, you can't do that, dude.
I can't.
I've seen you when you just shaved your face. That was bad enough, bro.
I won't shave my face, but I'll shave my head. My head is like, it's really round, and I would make a good bald dude, but
I can shave my body hair if you want, because I'm already there.
Yeah, look at you. Well, all three be 3 apprentices.
Yeah.
And actually, Tony didn't have a lot of hair either. So
He doesn't. No, we could
do
just be
4
three.
apprentices and
Yeah.
Andy.
That's right. Andy be the only one with hair anymore.
Yeah, I'm all about
Life is
teamwork,
better
but
this
I'm
way.
keeping my hair.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you're talking about your family. You're just a shout out to your youngest.
Yeah.
He is amazing,
Yeah.
amazing human.
I didn't do that, and she kind of told me what she did. So
Yep, had me in tears.
my youngest daughter sent Dave a DM over Instagram, and she felt compelled because she knows what's going on, because they all know about what's going on in my personal life, and they also know that my very close friend is going through some things, and she sent Dave a DM. She DM'd him on Instagram, so she slid into his DM.
Yep. Slid in my DMs.
All on her own, and she said some really nice things to Dave. And
I told her I'll see each other soon.
yeah, I was really proud of her for doing that, and that was all her. I didn't do that at all. And when she read what Dave, I'm going to tell you, when she read me what she said to you on her DMs, it brought me to tears. So, and if you guys know me, I'm not a super emotional dude. That's not something I do, to cry on really any occasions. I was proud of her for doing that. And
All right, well, let's get out of here before we all start crying.
yeah, let's do it. So, all right, guys, thanks for listening to another one of our bullshit episodes of the Five Dirty Bikers podcast. Join the Discord, buy some merch.
Do it.
See y'all later.
Harley,
Love it.
hire a new fucking marketing person.
Saying, let me know. Hit me up.
Keep
Bye.
it dirty.
Well, it's January and we gathered round, waiting for a drop but not a sound. Same old paint, same old chrome, same old name. Harley lit the fuse but didn't spark the flame. Oh, Harley, you done fucked up again. Same old bikes with a new paint plan, jacking up the price but it rides the same. Hope Indian don't pull the same damn game. I checked the specs, I checked the site, hyped up torque, but it still ain't right. We wanted change, we wanted fresh, but all we got's a price tag mess. Oh, Harley, you done fucked up again. Same old bars, same old tank, marketing must be sniffing the crank. Hope Indian don't play the same prank. I love my hog, don't get me wrong, but for 30 grand I need more than a song. Sitting here pissed with a beer in my hand, wondering if Polari's got a better plan. Oh, Harley, you done fucked up again. Same old bars, same old tank, marketing must be sniffing the crank. Hope Indian don't play the same prank. I love my hog, don't get me wrong, but for 30 grand I need more than a song. Sitting here pissed with a beer in my hand, wondering if Polari's got a better plan. I love my hog, don't get me wrong, but for 30 grand I need more than a song. Sitting here pissed with a beer in my hand,